Hey guys, how are you, Mr. Boda? I just wanted to quickly go over this little assignment that you're going to take a look at. It's called Rhetoric, and rhetoric is the art of speaking and writing persuasively. So, all writers do it, especially when they're trying to persuade you of something. In this story that we've been reading, Into the Wild, uh, the author, John Krakauer, which is fun to say, John Krakauer, he is trying to basically persuade us that the main character, well, I don't want to call him a character because it's a true story. He actually lived. That Chris McCandless is an admirable person. That what he did is something to be admired. Not everybody feels that way after reading the story. So anyway, how does he do it? So it's the way he uses the language in the story, and he's doing that to try to persuade the audience, which is us. We are the audience, right? And I wanted to point out something that authors do. They use appeals. When someone is trying to appeal to you, they're trying to win you over, right? And they do that in a couple of different ways. They will try to appeal to you through logic, through emotion, or through some type of shared beliefs and values. So I'll give you an example. When using logic, a writer will maybe present facts and statistics, things like that. Like for instance, you shouldn't smoke because 90. I'm making things up here, but 90% of smokers end up getting lung cancer, and that's why you shouldn't smoke cigarettes. Or 500,000 people die each year from lung cancer caused by smoking. Those are facts, those are just statistics, even though I kind of made them up, but you get the idea. I could look them up and find out the real numbers. So they might do that, right? Use facts and statistics. You see numbers and percentages and things like that. All they might also use an emotional plea, right? For example, telling the story of a single person with a life-threatening disease in order to raise funds to fight it, right? So if I'm talking about smoking again, right? Let's say I might tell you a really emotional story about somebody who I knew who smoked cigarettes their whole life and ended up developing lung cancer and died and left their children with no father or something like that, right? That's an emotional story, and I'm trying to convince you to not smoke cigarettes. Lastly, there is this shared beliefs and values type of appeal. So, I'll give you an example, right? An author might remind the audience of their shared values and beliefs in an appeal to bring about change. For instance, maybe if it's again going with this idea of smoking, right? You shouldn't smoke cigarettes because I smoked cigarettes for 20 years, and I can tell you that I almost got cancer and all these terrible things happened to me, and so therefore you can trust me because I went through this, or I know I lost a family member to lung cancer, something like that. So writers will use these three different appeals: an appeal to logic, right? An appeal to your emotions, or they will share some kind of belief or value that kind of links the two of you together. When you get in here, you can watch the short little video, and then there in the model tab, there is another short video where you have the students talking about the story, and they're going to be talking about word choice, they're talking about the rhetoric, talking about the connotations of certain words, and how John Krakauer, gives us his opinion of Chris McCandless through his words. Lastly, the part to do is the your turn. So here's a passage from 3 paragraphs from the story. This is the part where Chris McCandless's car has been completely washed over with water because he parked it too close to that river area, and now he doesn't know what to do, right? And then he eventually decides, um, well, he makes a decision about what to do. Take a look at those 3 paragraphs, and then it asks you what type of rhetorical appeal does the author use. So you can see your choices are here are logical reasoning, emotional language, repetition of keywords and phrases, or a direct address to the reader. So sometimes you read a book and the author is speaking directly to you. That's what that one is. And then lastly, which sentence or phrase supports your answer? So you have to pick one of these that supports your answer to the first one. And that's it, guys. Not a whole lot to do here, but just keep in mind those ways that writers try to persuade you or try to appeal to you: emotional, logical, and through shared beliefs and values. If you have any questions, feel free to email